It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
You decide when you lose, not other people.
And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv and everywhere else on God's green internet. What's going on, everybody? Hi, I'm Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the #1 video game and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. Broadcasting live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time on this YouTube channel, hosted by me and Blast as the producer. It's Side Scrollers, and I look really dark today. I look like I'm in a bad movie or something. Hello, Blabs. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening.
Did you take like a lot of tea and caffeine or something?
No caffeine yet today. None yet today.
You
But it's
talk
coming.
About it?
Do I want to talk about the caffeine?
Yeah. No, the fact that you're going whoop whoop in like
Whoop.
5 seconds.
Look at how dark I look. I need to bust my lights up. I'm gonna need to get over there and take a break in just a second to get over there. That's ridiculous.
You look fine. What are you talking about?
I feel like I look super dark. Whatever, it's just me being silly. And as pointed out, I am sitting down today after my 1-day hiatus of standing up. I'll tell you, this is a guy who I bet has tried the stand-up desk. It's a guy who also needs to work on his lighting. It's Short Fat Otaku.
Hello, how's it going? Craig.
Yes.
Craig, I have a bone to pick with you, sir.
We're literally 1 second in, and he's got a bone to pick. All right, here we go.
The drama's already starting. Listen,
Here we are.
when I was younger and Screw Attack was very young, was a young site,
Yes.
you banned me off your forums.
Just to be clear, I didn't ban anybody on our forum. our mods did.
I was a dumb kid who was trolling too much. It's okay.
Oh, listen. Welcome to the internet. Welcome to the internet.
But I mean, I've been watching you since the beginning. It's great to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here, man. I'm stoked to have you, and we're gonna have a really, really good show. Really, really good show. Also joining us today, which is really, really fun. I'm very excited about this conversation. And I want to make sure I'm saying your last name right. But former editor-in-chief of Escapist, now co-founder of what is simply being called Second Wind. It's Nick Calandra. Is it Calandra or say it for me?
Yeah, you said it right. Calandra.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Phonetic.
Italian.
Italian. Do you hate when people go, you Italian, and they hold up your fingers? Do you ever do this whenever? Is
I don't. I didn't live in New York, so.
Or am I offending you by doing this?
No.
Okay, good. Thank goodness. All right, good. You're going to fit on great. Man, this is going to be a really good show. I'm really excited to have you guys on. We're going to be talking about, obviously, the escapist stuff. We are going to be talking about YouTube's AI crackdown. There's more layoffs happening in the video game industry. And we're going to get in, obviously, the Second Wind story, as well as the Game of the Year nominees. But first, I'd like to remind everybody, we're live over at rumble.com/sidescrollers. Make sure you hit the follow button over there if you like the free speech side of things. Hit the Twitter follow button as well, at SideScrollerPod. And Blaz, we have an Instagram, don't we?
We do. We're closing in on like almost 800 guys. So
Okay.
Get to it.
Instagram, not our biggest social media platform, but I'll tell you what, let's hit the follow button over there if you guys like little clips of the show and stuff. We're also live over on Kick, and we have Spotify, which if you guys like the audio version, don't like looking at our stupid faces, you can listen to the show after it's posted there every single day. Join us if you are new to the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you like common sense in the video game space, and join the almost 55,000 people who have joined us over the last few months as we've got off the, started over and got going. Hit the like button because we try to hit 300 every single stream, and let's see if we can get those 20 memberships today. Really appreciate that. So with all that said, let's do a quick little intro for our fun guest here. Let's start with Dev here. Dev, why don't you give everybody a rundown of exactly who you are, what you do, because this is your first time on the show, and I'm excited to have you.
Well, my channel is politics sometimes, it's drama sometimes it's video game entertainment. It's basically whatever I feel like doing. It is the dev channel first and foremost. I started as anime, and I was kind of doing the angry reviewer thing, which was all the rage in the 2000s. But I mean, that kind of fell away. Tried Let's Plays, that had some medium success, but I got into things with Gamergate. And actually,
Ooh.
yeah, Gamergate is the big GG. It's the boogeyman basically of the internet right now.
Wow.
But I got into the politics stuff with Gamergate, and I've kind of been going ever since.
So there you go, right there. So it's kind of like gaming / politics.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it is pretty much anything I want to do. There's many different things going on my channel.
What's interesting is this right here, your latest video, or one of your latest videos. I guess you had just posted another one, but you had an interesting conversation with, I guess, if you got into the old GG time, you had you and your mortal enemy, I guess, your words, not mine, Brianna Wu, had a conversation recently.
Yes. So I was very pro Gamergate back in 2014, and Brianna Wu was very anti Gamergate. She was one of the she was one of the big people that was focused on during Gamergate, in fact. And but I mean, it's been 10 years. You know, if the angry video game nerd and the irate gamer can come together after 10 years, surely Brianna Wu and I can. So we went together on Wick TV, which is like a debate channel, and because we both know Wick, we're both friends with him, and we said let's set up a conversation and we've been talking in DMs and stuff, and we still disagree politically on a lot of things, but we buried the hatchet in terms of like any sort of malice, you know?
I love it. I love that people from different perspectives can come together and actually have a civil conversation. I think that's like the best thing in the world because it's needed and super important. And I love that. So congratulations on that, which is great. Good for
Awesome.
Good for both y'all. That's great.
Yeah.
And Nick, obviously you have we're going to get into your story here in a little bit, but Nick, I'm looking at your channel. I got to be honest, it's pretty desolate. There's really nothing on it right now.
Yeah,
what the hell's going on? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a week, I will say that, but we will finally have a single video up there starting tomorrow.
Awesome. So we'll get like I said, we're gonna get into this a little deeper in a little bit, but the Cliff Notes version is last week you were employed, then the next day you weren't, and now you have a company.
Yeah. It's been I'm still like I don't think any of our team has like really processed it. We just kind of, fired, resigned, whatever, and then we're like right back to it. And I was like, okay, no break. Let's go.
Love it. Well, this is going to be it's a really cool story. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it here in just a little bit. But before we get into our stories, Mercenary came in with a $5 super chat. Says, hope you check out the link I sent on Twitter and left a comment on it. Stuff is mind blowing, and I really hope it helped. You can resonate with Peter. Thank you, Mercenary. Appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that. If you send it to me on Twitter, chances are I saw it, unless you're blocked, which I don't think you are. Silver Camaro came in with the $5 super chat. Says,
oh my God.
I don't even know what this is. Dev, what is Silver Camaro talking about?
Okay, so there's a lot of my viewers in the chat right now who came over. I advertised the stream earlier today. And these are all memes from my community. There's a meme in my community that my girlfriend committed the Rwandan genocide and that she pegs me. And so someone decided to super chat that. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Welcome to the show, Nick.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, baby. Hey, well, listen, that's great. If anybody else wants to send in super chats about Dev's girlfriend pegging him, then by all means, send them on in. We'll gladly
please don't.
No. Actually, let's do this. For $50, no. You got to set a minimum on.
Don't bet your audience to do something. I've learned that the hard way when I first started streaming. So,
oh, here we go. We got another one from Mr. X. It says, Dev, can you please tell quickly how you stopped Phil Fish's career? I owe you a beer.
Oh God, do you guys want that story or no?
Okay, well, Nick, obviously you know who Phil Fish is, yes?
Yeah,
and he was what was his game company called? He obviously did Fez.
Polytronic. And Fez.
Okay, so give us the rundown.
Okay. I'll give you the TLDR version.
Yes.
Okay, so during Gamergate, there was a large swath of people who were just interested in harassing others, which is no good. But there also was a large swath of people who were actually interested in ethics. I was on the ethics side of it, and my big discovery, the big video that I put out during Gamergate, was that I discovered that the people who donated to Phil Fish's company, Polytron, or is it Polytronic? One of the two. Polytron. Either way. They were also the judges at the IGF that awarded his game of the year.
Oh, wow.
And that was back in, I think, 2012.
That sounds very...
That was a story. Yeah, that was a story that I broke. And my channel had like 5,000 subs, so it did get seen by a lot of people, but it didn't really blow up because my channel was really small. But I did learn as my channel got bigger through back channels and people in the industry that a lot of people, after they saw that video, they didn't want to work with Phil Fish anymore, and he kind of slowly phased out. So that's the TLDR.
Like,
he's doing nothing.
Oh,
he's doing nothing right now. Yeah,
is he living off the Fez money?
I guess.
Well, good for him, man. I mean, I know it was a huge game. Sold like millions of copies. So, like,
it was a good game too. Yeah. Even though like Phil Fish himself is kind of an asshole, and what he did isn't great ethically, it was still a good game.
Well, that'd be a great guy to have on the show sometime to kind of get caught up on what the hell Phil Fish is doing. Blabs, write him down. Let's get Phil Fish on the show. See what he's doing with all that Fez money, which is good. All right. And look at this. Hey, Geldon Yedich came in and says, I was supporting the Escapist creators before it was cool. I'm really happy they were able to start second win and stick it to the man in the process. Love that. I can't wait to get to that story because once again, sticking it to the man is what we're all about, which is great. All right, well, let's get into it. Guys, I don't know if you realize this, but it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news. Wait, where's the new intro? Is this it? This is it. We just have a new intro. This is it.
This is hard news.
And I'm looking through all our assets, and
You fucked it up.
I know, Blab. That's okay. All right, let's get into the big story that's been all over the internet the last couple days. It is the story of Gerard the Completionist. Now, I think we should all kind of stop and disclose if anybody has any personal relationship with Gerard, because we all worked in the space for a long time. Does anybody know Gerard on a personal level?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope.
I do. Not on a personal. Well, I'll say we've hung out, right? And we're acquaintances. We've known each other for a long time just because I've been on the internet forever. Right.
Was it like a Screw Attack Gaming Con kind of thing?
Right.
Showed up?
Right. Yeah. He was a guest at like an event that we ran. Right.
Yeah.
So we'll start there. So full disclosure. And by the way, Gerard has always been like the nicest guy in the world to me. So just want to put that out there. But he has been in the center of some controversy as over the last day or so. Two, I don't know if you call them internet reporter guys, Carl Jobst, who usually does speedrunning videos, and also Mudahar, I think it's Some Ordinary Gamer, released dual videos at the same time talking about the Completionist charity that he has, that he raises money for annually. And the TLDR of this story is that he has raised over $600,000 over the last almost 10 years. And it's still sitting in the bank, and it hasn't been dispersed to other charities. And that was kind of the big story from this. Now, none of that money has been used. It hasn't been put towards salaries. It hasn't been put towards Ferraris. It hasn't been put towards anything else. If anything, it's been used to mainly produce the next year's like marathon or charity drive that they do. But it's primarily, it's just one of those like, why hasn't this money been spent story type of thing. So I'll open it up to you, Nick. You are the editor, man, superstar news guy. What's your initial thoughts here with this bombshell revelation?
Yeah, it really I actually don't know a whole lot about this story. It's, kind of broke when I've been trying to build a business, but if I've only ever heard good things about the Completionists. So, I'm always on the side of, I want to know more before I make any judgments of anything. And, I was seeing some tweets from some people that knew him that like, apparently he was having trouble like finding places to give that money to. I don't, again, I don't know how that draws up, but that's basically all I've seen from that story. So, like I said, I think, Twitter and all that likes to jump the gun on a lot of these things, and I'd rather just see.
Wait. Twitter jumped the gun on something?
Never.
Are you kidding me?
Never. Yeah.
Let's give everybody a little more context. I tried to give the TLDR. I obviously didn't do a very good job, but this is from IGN because they're hardcore video game journalists, right?
Mm-hmm.
YouTuber The Completionist Open Hand Foundation accused of keeping charitable donations. the Open Hand Foundation charity, which he founded and has an active role on. And I think it is important to preface that when a charity is started, some people don't know this. There needs to be officers on the board. There needs to be minimum 3 board of directors. And this is a small charity that Gerard is on the board of directors for. What that board of directors does is they help vote on things like where the money's going or what they're going to do for for the charity drive or whatever. And Gerard is one of the board of directors or members of this board for this charity. So as I mentioned, Carl Jobst and Some Ordinary Gamers uploaded videos about their investigation into Gerard, better known as the Completionist. The pair alleged that the Open Hand Foundation, which was founded after his mom, more or less, passed on, and they said they've raised over $600,000 for the money, and there's no evidence of paying that money forward to organizations working against dementia. Okay, Deb, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, mostly the same. It's probably good to wait to see what Gerard himself has to say. If he has some explanation, he makes a statement or something. He probably will in the coming days. I've seen a lot of the memes though. Like there was that one video that Gerard put out where he's holding up, I think, the 3DS and the Wii U gamepad,
right,
with like 5-figure numbers on the front of them saying, "I bought every single game on the eShop before it went down," and now, couple years later, everyone's saying this is a pretty bad look, considering that you're sitting on $600,000. I mean, there's no evidence that that's where the money actually went, but it does look bad, right? And it makes for some pretty funny jokes. But it's one of those things where, maybe it is actually the case that he couldn't find a worthwhile charity yet, and he's just waiting. But I mean, 10 years is a long time to wait.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of money to sit on to not do anything with. That's interesting.
I think that in a situation like this where you have, I've seen counterpoints to all this, right? And this is actually one of them. I saw a Twitter post which was not overreacting, and I think it's important. This guy, the Lil Wooly, who is I guess not really, doesn't have much of a following or anybody, but they're trying to provide some perspective on the situation. And they say over on Twitter, the whole situation regarding Gerard the Completionist in Indieland seems a bit overblown to me. And I want to give Ordinary Gamers and Carl Jobst a bit of my opinion on the matter as an accountant for a nonprofit. And I think it's important to hear kind of those perspectives as we go in. But the long and short of it is he goes in and he's talking about, well, why not? The thought was, you have all this money, why doesn't it go there? And this guy who's an accountant more or less says, because oftentimes when you donate to big charities, it ends up going to like the CEO's salary. It goes to everything but the actual charity and the idea of what you want to help solve or the problem that you want to help solve. And I think that's like honestly a very valid thing. Now, with that said, is like 7, 8, 9, 10 years too long to figure out what that is? Probably. I think we can all.
Did he not say anything about holding onto the money this whole time? Like that yeah.
Right. So he said several times in several streams and several instances that he's like, this money goes directly to, and he lists out actual things. So I'm not saying that my personal thought on this is, I don't think Gerard knew he was messing up. And when he found out that he was messing up, as pointed out in the conversations that they had with him, because that was one of the things which I very much commend Some Ordinary Gamers and Carl Jobst for doing, is they actually reached out to him and they actually had a conversation with him and they asked him about it instead of just running with the story, which in my mind, that's what journalism is, right? Getting the actual side of the story. So they reached out to him. And he was like, look, yeah, I messed up. I didn't realize that this was happening. And now that I realize that it's happening, we're going to correct it. And, obviously the question back is, well, why did it take so long? And his answer is just like, I don't know. I wasn't aware this wasn't happening. So I feel like in this situation, it's much to do about nothing while still being something, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking.
No, I know what you mean. There's in a more general sense, I think people have to realize that YouTubers generally aren't professionals. Like when they get big enough to be someone like a Linus Tech Tips, right, where he has like 100 people working under him and he has a 15 million sub channel, you can call them professionals then, right? But most YouTubers, even if they're living off their channel, they're still just kind of schlubby guys who don't know what they're doing and they're bumbling through it. And so it's not like it's still a mistake. It still shouldn't have happened, but it's kind of understandable that he just didn't know what he was doing.
I think, and Nick, you obviously you're. Is this your first business that you're running, or I mean, obviously you were the EIC at Escapist, but that's a little bit different than like running a business. So, is this your first opportunity running your own business?
This is my first business running with money. Yeah,
right.
So,
and it's a lot. And Deb, so you're self-employed, right? You run your own thing. So, I don't know, kind of talk about that, because there's an element to this. And now I think your situation is going to be a lot different, because Gerard has been doing this for a long time, so much so that he can use his platform to create a charity, right? So obviously I would like to think that he has had experience in handling money and money coming in and then paying taxes on that and dealing with employees and all this stuff, because when you reach that certain point. But talk about your experience there, because that's it's different.
And I'm just going to throw myself under the bus here real quick. I've been doing it about as long as Gerard has. I've just been completely unsuccessful until the past 2 years or so. I only just managed to live off of this. It was always like a hobby for me, you know. But there does come a point where you're, I'm gonna make a video today. I'm gonna do a stream, and you kind of do your thing, and you get some money, and you get a little bit more money, and you get a little bit more money, and then you realize, I can quit my job. And eventually you get so deep into it that you're sitting around and money's pouring in and you're paying off every bill that you have and you're putting some in the bank. And you're like, wait, this is actually a real thing now, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with this. I have no idea how to like set it up legally. I have no idea how to, what does it mean to hire someone? And there's like the legal responsibilities of that. And then also the moral responsibilities, because if someone's working for you, now you're responsible for them. So if you don't perform, now it's not only you who goes hungry, somebody else now goes hungry. Right. So there's a lot of hidden factors in running your own business that I think spring up out of nowhere. And even for people who are a little bit experienced, it catches them by surprise.
I can speak for that. I mean, this is my third business online in this space, and yeah, it's there's a lot of unexpected costs that kind of pop up out of nowhere, specifically from a tax perspective. Now, the chat's saying like, is this like honest mistake? I don't think you can have an honest mistake for that long, for 6 or 7 years, but I do think it's a mistake, and I do think that it's. In a situation like this, you can realize something was wrong, and then you can sit on it, and then you forget about it. And I'm not going to apologize for Gerard here at all, but I do think that it's worth hearing his side of the story, because I do think that in the interviews that they did with him and the segments that they showed with him in their videos, they absolutely. He owned up to it, and I think that's really all you can ask when it comes to this type of thing. Is somebody messes up, they own up to it. And it was pointed out in the chat that at this point, probably the best thing to do is to disperse that money and shut it all down and not do this again. I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts on this?
Do you want to go, Nick? I just spoke a whole bunch.
Sure. Yeah. No. I just if he's on the board, and my one big red flag popping on my head is like, you're on the board and you don't know where that money's going over 10 years. Like that's raising a big red flag in my head for me. Just as somebody that's starting a business right now, I know where every dollar is. So yeah, I think, he has to the only way he gets out of this is dispersing the money and doing what he promised to do. And then I agree, like shutting it down, like nobody's going to trust you to give you that money again to run a charity like that. That's, I think it kind of boggles my mind, like, especially, when as I'm sure people are looking at this and they're going to be finding, financial documents and all that. That's going to tell more of the story to that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where it's not good, but on some level it's understandable, because I think we've all been that person, especially when we were younger, like back in school or something, where you've had like a paper due and it's sitting on your desk and then you're like, I don't want to do this right now. It's a huge project, and then like it shuffles to the back of your desk behind your monitor, and then it stays there for about 3 weeks, and you don't even look at it. But like on some subconscious level, you know it's there, and it's like this dragon that's leering from behind your monitor that has to be tackled. But every day you don't tackle it, the problem gets worse.
I don't know if I buy that so much though, because he
No?
like was promoting the charity on a lot of
Right.
streams. It's not something that like was in the back of his mind that we're
Mhm.
raising money and at the same time not seeing where it's going.
As somebody who has once been the type of person who was scared of confronting important things and putting them off,
Yeah.
it's very easy to rationalize it and be like to talk about it, and then but like have anxiety about it, and then just say, go away, get out of my head, and I can just forget about you for the next 3 months. But it's still back there, it's not good, and no one should ever do it, and it does come with consequences, but I can at least understand it.
I actually think it's very good that he's been called on it.
Yes.
And to kind of further compound, or to kind of play devil's advocate to what you were saying, Dev, I understand what you're saying as far as, many people in this game are not business owners, but they're thrust into the idea of being a business owner. But, the question is, well, there's like been $100,000 that's been spent out of that, right? And I think that money probably, and I don't know, this is something that Gerard's going to have to ask, but that money was probably pulled for, and that's $100,000. Not like that's like a one-time deal being pulled out in 2022 for whatever, to buy a car or whatever. That's probably been spent as an expense for the charity over the course of the duration of these charity events. That's my only assumption, and I'm going to assume there. We don't know until Gerard actually says anything. But I do think that that's probably the best answer for that situation, is that money has to be spent to generate more money, and that's how things work. It just doesn't like start flowing in. So they're causing expenses, or they're having expenses to bring that in. With that said, they do, every time there was an expense, they had to know that money was there. Right. So that once again doesn't give the excuse of, well, they just didn't know, because they clearly did know, because they're spending that money for some things. So I'll be interested to see if Gerard makes a statement here over the next couple of days. He obviously should. I would think he'd probably want to do it sooner than later, because he clearly knew this was happening. This was going to happen, because they reached out to him. They knew that he had 2 fairly large YouTubers coming after him, and it's. I would have thought that he would have probably. I mean, if I was him and I knew this was going to happen, I would have broke the story before them personally. That's kind of how I would have handled it. I don't know. What about you, Nick?
No, yeah, they would have absolutely got ahead of it, as just happened with me recently. So,
right.
So
there you go. Yeah, I mean, I think we're just gonna have to kind of wait and see over the next couple of days what exactly happens and the response to this. I think that anytime there are sort of accusations when it comes to charities or just anything online, like really any accusations at all, I do feel like there will still be that asterisk in the back of people's mind where it's like, wasn't that guy who cheated the charity? Regardless of if he did it or not, the fact that there's been publicity around it, whether, because people will only see that first headline, and we know that, and that's kind of why I would have beat it out the gate, but that's just me. So that is the world that we live in today. So got a bunch of super chats, which are awesome. Thank you guys very much for your support. I'm going to read off some of these before we get to our next story. Chrisinator says, I'm disappointed in Gerard. Unless he has a good explanation, he will end up alongside Spoonie, Boogie, and many others that ruined their career. I guess my question to you, Chrisinator, is what would be a good explanation? And this is a question for the entire chat. What is a good and Deb, what is a good explanation for you if he comes out? What solidifies the crazy waters?
I mean, I don't think there really is a good explanation, to be honest. There's less bad ones for sure, but there's not really a good one. The best possible scenario is that he just couldn't find a proper charity that actually seemed up to snuff, and then it all kind of snowballed and got away from him. It's not a good excuse, but it is an understandable one.
Nodding comes in, says the dots don't connect. Fake testimonials on the website. How can you run charity drives for nearly 10 years and not know where the money's going? I want to believe Gerard, but things don't add up. Once again, I think we just need to hear what he has to say. I mean, everyone's so quick to judge, right? And when you hear people with loud voices speaking, obviously that helps formulate an opinion. But I think in a situation like this, it's always good to hear all sides of the story. And I feel like, I mean, but hey, this is the internet. Fuck everybody, right?
Yeah, I mean, the last time I jumped on like a cancel train myself was the Pro Jared thing, and Pro Jared ended up being innocent, and like I got burned pretty hard by that. Like not even by my own fans, they didn't care, but I felt like I did the wrong thing here. I felt kind of scummy about what I had said. So I apologized to him, and then I said, you know what, I'm never getting on this sort of a bandwagon ever again.
Did you say anything publicly?
Yes.
Good. I think that's like really important for people. Is like
I made a few videos like about the situation where I was wrong. Then I made a follow-up video where I said, no, I made a mistake here. This is like I fucked up. So
good for you, man. That's great. Good for you. That's great. Shows a lot of.
Oh, thank you.
People grow up, and it's good. Hey, Blabs, read it off from Orthodox monks.
All right, movie quote of the day: "The battle of the mind of North America will be fought in the video arena, the Videodrome, Dr. Oblivion Videodrome."
Replace that with social media. We may replace video arena with social media, and you got that, and that is prophetic, actually. Thank you, Orthodox monks. Appreciate that. Blake lets us know that it's still not a scam. Okay, thank you, Blake. Appreciate that. Mercenary came in, says, so we're still playing the game where someone is blocked and is begging Razorfist to be unblocked, but now with Craig as player 2 now. I guess. I don't know. I don't like to block people unless they're jerks. So GK says, as it stands at this moment, I follow Hanlon's Razor. Never attribute to malice that which is adequately. I can, guys, you're going to learn this really quick. I can't read. I'm not a good reader.
Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by neglect, ignorance, or incompetence.
Nailed it. Thanks. Appreciate that. And from here on out, Dev, you get to read all the super chats, including from Xander.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. Nick, hope to see Jack Packard and more stuff.
You will.
Bam.
Oh, God, this is from my community. Dave brings a lot to the SFO channel, like his gout. I have an editor named Dave. He has gout, and it impedes his ability to work.
Oh, it's a bummer to hear. Sorry to hear that. Mark came in and says, hello there, Dave. Hello there, Dev. Can't even read
Mark.
Dave.
I think
Hi,
Mark.
Mark.
Mark was the one who actually clued me in, I think, to you guys that you came back, Craig. So that's cool.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's good to be back. John says, question, is Gerard just part of the board of directors or is he CEO of the charity? Perhaps it was something he was trying to fix. Devil's advocate. I don't know. These are questions that we don't know. I think on the paperwork, he's just listed as a director. So I don't know what that looks like. So once again, these are all things that I feel like it's very important for us to hear from him at. Mark came in, says, go ahead, Dev.
Hail Dev, breed Dev. The Dev will be bred when he isn't getting pegged by his girlfriend for being disobedient. Communist breeding. Hail from the Archcast. So I do a podcast called the Archcast with the YouTuber Arch Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty good show, even though everyone in the chat says shit like that all the time.
All right.
It's always interesting how every community has like their own lore attached to them.
Yeah, and memes. Yeah.
Yep.
And apparently the big one in devs is pegging.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's actually not the biggest meme. It's just the one that everyone's posting right now because they know that I'm on someone else's channel. That's what's going on here.
Trying to embarrass you. At least my community hasn't started doing that yet. I know. I guarantee you'll get a super chat from somebody's saying the thing that everybody says about me in my chat.
Oh, I can't wait.
Won't spoil it for you.
Evan came in. Evan says, I like Gerard, but this feels like George Costanza on the Susan Ross charity board. Obviously a Seinfeld reference. Thank you, Evan. Appreciate that. Matthew came in, says, the worst part is that Gerard has said multiple times that his mom passed away due to dementia. You think he'd know better? Okay. All right. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. And Moondoggy says, I'm stuck living with Dev's wall and he's not feeding us.
Yeah, so that is a meme where apparently a lot of my viewers are so, parasocially attached to me, they've decided to live in my walls.
Oh, creepy
So,
and shit. That's good.
yeah.
That's really good.
Mhm.
Hey, Mike Fury came in as a resub over on with Prime over on the Twitch side of things. So spending that Bezos bucks. Hey man, if anybody wants to use your Bezos free Amazon Prime, head over to twitch.tv/Stutter and Craig and use it on your boy. Really greatly appreciate that. Also, speaking of memberships, Clemson came in with 10 gifted memberships to the channel. That is spectacular. Thank you, Clemson. Greatly appreciate your support. And if you guys got gifted membership, make sure you say, thank you. I really appreciate that. And consider paying it forward. Dude over on Rumble says, Greg left The Completionist in February of 2015, shortly after the charity went nonprofit. I wonder if this was one of the wedges between them. I unfollowed once Greg left because the show lost its soul. Thank you. Appreciate that, dude. And Kratos El Gratos gets placed on the bottom banner with a $69 Rumble rant. Says, I only $69 for the Craig charity. Let's go. You get the $69 side scrolling on the bottom. We'll keep that up for a little bit. Thank you so much, Kratos El Gratos. You're there. Once again, the $69 direct donation gets placed on the bottom banner right there. Scrolling
God
from
damn
left
it.
to right.
I just saw the super chat pop up. I knew it was coming. I knew it.
Oh,
I
is
shouldn't
it-
have said anything. I walked right into it.
Are your memes coming in now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I knew it.
Is it this one right here, which you'd like to read?
Gelden I took $2 says, okay then. Nick likes poo poo. And what about these?
Tell us more, Nick.
I literally do not know where the whole poo poo thing came from. They have different stories all the time, but I do have a thing for getting people with these nuts jokes a lot on our channel. Specifically, the very first stream last night that Casey and Jesse were on, two of our freelancers. I learned on Coffee that I can send in my own sounds for when somebody makes a donation. And so I went and found a D's Nuts joke. And when somebody made a donation, it came up on stream. And Casey was very confused how that got in there.
Good for you. Everybody, listen, if you don't like D's Nuts or your mama jokes, then
Quite
what the hell? What are we
the
even doing?
jokes here on our channel.
What have we been doing? Sub came in as a Prime member for 3 months. So did VCam for 31 months. Says, good morning, everyone. Appreciate that. Orthodox Monk says, ban me, Craig. I dare you. Take shirt off. I've been to heaven. Do you want to test God? Listen, Orthodox Monks. Nobody wants to test you, friend. And Dan came in with a 5. Says, I like Gerard. Whatever I'm hearing, the charity money. Are we having another glitch here? Says, I like Gerard.
This
Whatever
one's
I'm
Sam, I
hearing, the charity money controversial. I really want to hear his side of the story. What happened?
I think you forgot half your sentence there.
Yeah.
I agree, Dan. Thank you very much. Dan came in with a glitch a couple days ago as well. And Mad Stork says, always nice slash weird to see people I follow and respect doing something together. I've been following Craig since we met by some trampolines by old Denton. Thanks, Mad Stork. Yes, the old trampoline bouncing days. And listen to this. Nick, Eric came in.
Oh, hey.
Says,
That's our community manager over on the Discord.
that's amazing. Eric says, I bet Nick won't be expecting D's nuts.
Eric, I'm banning you. No more admin role for you.
Oh shit! Damn, raw man. That's tough. Let's see if he holds to it, which is the most important thing. Jake came in. These are dropping some nice old Australian money. He says, watching 4:30 a.m. Australian time because my brain has never known how sleep works. Hope y'all are well and have a great one. Jake, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate that, man. That's phenomenal support. We appreciate that, guys. Thanks for your Australian monies.
Balls.
Yeah, big balls right there. Love that. All right, let's move on to our next story. Next on the list, we have, well, I'll tell you, I want to get into the second win stuff. That's what I want to get into. That's really, we can talk about YouTube AI and all this stuff. We can talk about Billie Eilish and layoffs and stuff, but I want to talk about the second win story. Okay, so one of the things we love to do on this channel is I like to do interviews, and congratulations, you're going to be interviewed by 3 people today, Nick. So, okay, give us the rundown, because we're going to go back a week. This was Thursday, I believe, when the news broke. Is this right?
No, last Monday.
Monday. Okay. So it was Monday last week, which is a very odd day to resign / be fired. Usually that stuff happens on a Friday. So my immediate like senses go, something happened here. And I don't know if you publicly talked about this, but what happened at Escapist? I know you have no ill will towards them. You've said this publicly, right?
Yeah.
But you also got fired.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Escapist was my brand. Like that was our team. So,
Mhm.
you know, the Escapist didn't fire me. It was a gamers group that fired me, our parent
Right.
company. But yeah, you know, it's kind of just the story old as time is corporate media, infinite growth. And, you know, when you pair that with people that are actually creative and talented and want to like just create things that people enjoy and not worry about doing 10 million views on it, you know, you're always kind of you're running in parallel, I guess, with what the corporation wants. You know, they want growth. You want engaged fans and a true audience to that. So, yeah. So we have to go a little bit farther back to get the context.
Yes,
So I took,
listen, we got time. Let's
yeah,
do
sure.
it. Let's
I
go
took
back.
over the Escapist in 2019, July of
Mhm.
2019, and basically I was tasked with rebuilding that brand from scratch because it was just beyond Gamergate and all that stuff. Like the brand had been kind of completely tarnished. Everybody had left for the most part, and so in 2018, Enthusiast Gaming bought it, previous parent company to that.
And they put in Russ Pitts as the
They put in-
EIC, correct?
Yeah, they put in Russ Pitts, and he brought back a lot of people that had kind of built the Escapist up. He was trying to kind of make a 2.0 version of what he had started.
Mhm.
And it just didn't work out. It kind of came into the same realm that a lot of sites were at the same time, where, you know, very kind of heated articles about politics and stuff like that. And like, I think people just wanted a space to go talk about video games and movies and TV and not get into all of that. And what I mean by that is like not cover politics at all, but like a lot of times you can read websites and all that, you feel like you're being talked down to. I'm not really learning anything. I'm just getting kind of somebody's blog thoughts into my feed. And when we started my version of the Escapist, like our 3 core pillars were interesting, informative, and fun. And so I'd always told my writers or my video people, like, you can talk about politics as much as you want. Just make it interesting so people actually listen to you and don't just get immediately mad at you. And so I basically had to start building up a team from scratch because Yahtzee, you know, had the channel on his shoulders and everything. And let me tell you, somebody from the Midwest that had run only my sites with a few thousand people that were interested in it, going from that to a community of 1.2 million is kind of terrifying. Because especially Yahtzee's audience, because like they had, by that point, you know, he had been doing it for 11 years and that's all they wanted. That's all they wanted was Yahtzee. And anybody coming in to mess with that or touch it or do anything with that is like they're against you immediately.
Right. And to be clear, like a lot of people, you know, with Screw Attack, there's a lot of parallels here, right? Because with Screw Attack, back like long time ago, we worked with the Angry Video Game Nerd, and he's obviously has his hardcore audience, right? And with us, you know, he was on our site for a long time, and there was this very much like, if it's not James, fuck off mentality, right?
Yep.
And I would imagine that's probably a roadblock that you ran into with people who were like, well, you're not Yahtzee. I don't like you, and this is the only thing that I want. Did you ever feel like there was almost too much pressure working with that audience, and that you weren't gonna be able to kind of turn the ship?
Yeah, I mean, at the start for sure, you know, but I kind of came out right away and I started using the YouTube community tab to basically lay out my plans, make everything really crystal clear. Like, I am not touching zero punctuation. You don't have to worry about that. My only goal is to introduce you to some new creators and introduce new shows and do some cool stuff. And that's really about it. And so as I got into the role, like I became known for being very open and honest with the audience about how things were going and what we wanted to do. And so people started to like turn on, you know, in my favor for over a while. You know, like one of the first things we did was the first time I ever worked with Yahtzee was taking him to E3 for his first time. And as Yahtzee rails on E3, that was a very fun experience where I'm like, oh man, this guy's gonna hate me. I'm making him go to E3. I'm making him go talk to developers. I'm putting in front of John Romero, who he's roasted his games before, and like we got a great photo op with John Romero staring him down just for social media shits and giggles.
Mhm.
And at that time, I was only managing editor of video. I wasn't editor in chief yet. But like right after E3 is when I became editor in chief in July of 2019, and so like the community clearly seen like I'm looking to have fun, like we're looking to do cool stuff. We made a documentary to like commemorate Yahtzee, with the audience there and like really get more of his story and everything. And so that's kind of like really what we did. Like I wanted the escapists that I built up to honor the legacy that had been come from before with a lot of interesting columns and personality, and not just another, IGN or GameSpot that's just a news board with, you don't know who's writing or who's doing what.
Right. Well, so you're successful in that, and then you obviously to a point to where you bring in a team, you start developing new content, you develop a show, you're working with sponsors. So fast forward, let's in the interest of time,
Sure.
we are, it's a week ago.
Yeah.
So what was the
a year ago, like almost a year ago to the like 2 weeks ago was the year ago that we got sold from Enthusiast Gaming to Gamers, which I also found out about on Twitter. It was not fun. I had just bought a house 3 months before that. I'm like, oh fuck, like what's happening? And so we get to Gamers, and like it was actually good. Like when we started out, like we were excited. Like Gamers saw the potential of the Escapists and what we had already started to build and wanted to invest in it. And we really had free reign to do what we wanted to do as long as we were growing. And we were like we grew on the back end. We were working a lot on our premium memberships through Patreon and YouTube memberships, and trying to build basically a sustainable revenue model that would compound year over year to get us to profitability. The problem was, go ahead.
What did that look like? Like you can go into much detail as possible. Like how much does it cost to run a video content, something the size of Escapist with 1.2 million subscribers, X mini shows, blah, 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 blah. Like, is it 100K a month? Is that 50K a month? Like, what do we like? Cause that's the reality of the situation is a lot of people like video costs a lot of money. There's editing attached to it, scripting, and that, so.
Yeah. I mean, like it's kind of screwy a little bit because back at Enthusiast Gaming, we had a very small budget. There were only 3 of us that were full time: myself, Yahtzee, and Omar Ahmed, our head of media production. And other people were very, very much underpaid for their talent back at EG. So I mean, like we were working with like maybe $40,000 to $50,000 a month to get all that out. And of course, Yahtzee makes the lion's share of that as the head talent. So we really didn't have a lot to work with. We just kind of made it work. So then we get sold to Gamers, and I had warned them at the start that like we had caught up to our costs back at EG through our memberships and live streams and all that stuff, bringing in lots of super chats. And I warned them that I said, like, you want us to grow, but we have to be careful about how we invest, because if you invest too much too quickly, I have to play catch up. And I know where that leads. It led to last Monday, right? Mm-hmm. So they wanted us to grow fast. They wanted us to, expand our show lineup and grow and grow and grow. And so we made the hires that we needed. Well, not even that. So for 6 months, they brought in a manager that was above me. And basically an older guy, really had no idea what he was doing, and basically set us back 6 months where I had sponsors and deals and all that I was trying to bring in, and they were just getting shot down because they weren't enough money. And I'm like, any money's good money right now. I got to get profitable. Right.
Especially in today's landscape, it's very hard to generate that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he gets fired about 6 months ago, and then I take on the role. And at that point I kind of knew, like, okay, well, I am now the guy in charge. So everything's going to fall on me if I don't reach the goals that they want. And so not only was I editor-in-chief of The Escapist, I was also like head of strategy for all of the video channels that they had. And the problem with Gamers is they bought all these brands that had YouTube channels attached to them, but they have not been active for years or months. And as anybody in the space knows, it is really hard to bring a channel back that has a dead subscriber base. So they wanted me to revitalize Destructoid and Mary Sue and Prima Games and all these things. And I need editors to do that, and like that costs a lot of money to get a channel up and running again like that. So the last thing I was told, it was like 2 months ago. We had just launched a couple new shows like the Stuff of Legends. We just and that show was taking off for us with Frost attached to it. And then my CEO comes in and he's like, the YouTube channel is a little bit boring and stagnant. Like, when are you launching new shows again? I'm like, okay, we can move Cold Take weekly, and we can do something easy to edit with Yahtzee, which was Yahtzee Unscripted. That wouldn't take a lot of effort to do and bump our views up like that. And so we did that. And his goal was for me to get the channel from, this was back in October, 5.66 million views up to 10 million by the end of the year.
Seems very unreasonable.
I was given that goal, and I said, okay, I better start packing my bags because I'm not long for this world.
So you see the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
You see the writing on the wall. They effectively fire you last week. What's that conversation like?
Yeah, so I kind of knew something was coming, because if you work in corporate media long enough, you kind of know when they go silent on you, you're probably in trouble. So I was back home for Halloween for my mother's birthday, and I got like a PDF or a Google Slides file from my manager that basically laid out Yahtzee's profitable, Frost is gonna be profitable, the rest of your stuff isn't. And I'm like, yes, I know all this, thank you. So, but I was like, okay. So I went upstairs. I was pretty pissed, because like this, I've given him the numbers, like I've shown him the bar graphs that show our money going up and up and up because of the memberships and everything. We were on a growth pattern, and everybody knew it on my team. We knew the numbers. They just wouldn't listen to me, and it's fine. And so like at that point, I was like, I pretty much told my parents like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get fired soon. And they didn't really, like, oh, calm down kind of thing. So Monday comes, and I'm messaging my manager at 6 a.m. I'm like, hey, when are we meeting? Because they were actually in London, the CRO, the CEO, and my boss having video strategy meeting. And I wasn't there, and I wasn't invited, and I wasn't told anything. So I was like, okay, I put 2 and 2 together if you're smart. So Monday morning, I'm trying to figure out, hey, when are we meeting today? No response. 9 a.m. Hey, when are we meeting today? No response. 11 o'clock, Omar messages them, when are we meeting today? No response.
Right.
And so by that point, the entire team is kind of up going crazy, like what's happening, like something's coming today. We know it. So we get into a call. We start figuring out like, hey, if something happens today, what are we doing? And because, I had been saying like, I'm probably going to get fired, and everybody was freaking out. So we're in that call, and then I get the message on Slack, can you come have a meeting with me? And HR's in there. I'm like, all right, guys, bye.
This is it, huh?
Yeah. So I go to that call. It's 2 minutes long. It's very, very cold towards me. Like basically, yeah, it's just not working out. We're breaking up with you. See you later. And I basically said in the call, like, I'm not signing anything. I'm not. And they didn't even tell me what the severance was or anything there. I just said, I'm not signing anything.
Right. Why? Why did you not? Why did you, like, they're offering you a bucket of money, right? I'm assuming, right? They're going to offer you some severance, maybe 3
weeks.
Oh, okay. That's not worth it.
Yeah, no, I had decided I wasn't going to sign anything, because I just knew I didn't want any, like, I'm an online personality, and I'm very transparent with the escapist audience already, which was getting me in trouble as it was. I was like, there's no way I'm going to sign something that's going to put legal overhead on me, that, if I say something and they're going to come after me for it. And also, like, we knew what we had with the escapists. Like we knew the numbers. We knew that this audience would follow us if we went somewhere else. I didn't have any idea that this would blow up like this. I just basically, we had decided, basically I got fired. I come back to the call, and then Jack Packard gets the message to come get fired. He's like, okay, see you later. So he goes. And then our newest video editor, Jesse Schwab, gets the call to go get fired. And then Matt Laughlin, our lead editor on Extra Punctuation, gets the call to go get fired. And by that point, we were like, okay, like, what are we doing? Are we staying? Are we going? And everybody just kind of everybody agreed. Like, we're
chaos,
leaving.
Yeah.
Chaos, we're just leaving. Yeah. The freelancers, everybody said, we're leaving. We're not doing this without you. And that, beyond that, like, I don't really remember much what happened, because it's just been it's just been insane.
So you got out of your way to be very nice. You say, I don't have anything bad to say about Escapist. But come on, like, dude, like they were clearly disorganized. They clearly had unreasonable expectations. And I mean, when you say Escapist, I mean, like, I say gamers, right?
Yeah.
May not have anything bad to say about Escapist. And I'm not asking you to say anything bad about it, but I am saying that, like, there clearly has to be some resentment towards the way the situation was handled based off of unrealistic expectations, which seems to be something that, as somebody who's worked in corporate games media before and had budgets and all that stuff, it doesn't seem attainable, especially when the vast majority of your business is built around using YouTube as a billboard to promote offsite ways of revenue, right? Whether it's Patreon, whether it's whatever.
I have resentment for all 5 years of corporate media where my team believed in me and I knew what I was doing. I knew we weren't going to get 6-figure sponsorship deals. It didn't happen for 3-4 years at EG. Why was it going to happen at Gamers all of a sudden, right? And so, like, business-minded me is going, like, my team and I went out and sold more sponsors for what we were doing than the corporate company did. So we had basically been preparing for this moment for the last 5 years, as we basically were independent already. We just had a corporate company paying our paychecks,
right?
Which is why, people are like throwing around conspiracy theories, like, how did you guys do this so quick? How did this happen? It's like, well, we had the team and we had the structure, like it was already there. We just had to take it to a new place. But I mean, like, gamers paid us well. Like, we weren't underpaid as editors or anything like that. I was paid very well. Yahtzee's paid well. We had good benefits. I like most of the people. I like most of the people there, besides the people that stabbed me in the back. But other than that, like, Gamers as a company is actually not a bad company. Like, they have a very smart SEO model that builds the backbone of their websites, and it works. It just, the problem is, like, the type of content we wanted to create wasn't compatible with that.
Right. So lots of questions in the chat, and I think one of the this is interesting. This is did they think they could just fire everyone and keep Yahtzee and Frost and nothing would happen? Was that the thought?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't going to fire Omar, our head of production, and Yahtzee or Frost, I think, and they basically tried to task Omar with handling the rest of the shows that we had, which was, there was no way that he was going to be able to do that. So I think that was their expectation, is like, Yahtzee and Frost, both of them edit their own shows, and then, my team is just kind of overhead that they didn't need.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't realize how much I actually do to keep that team running, and how much, like, everything we do as a team is collaborative. It's not one person running the show. Like, even me, like, yeah, I'm called editor in chief, but half the time, like, I'm just working with the editors to, like, basically flesh out their ideas and get things moving. So
right. And that makes sense. Like I said, having, so after I sold Screw Attack, I worked with Full Screen for 3 years, and ultimately Rooster Teeth for 3 years, because they bought Rooster Teeth as well. And the one thing that really shocked me, after, specifically when Full Screen paired us up with Rooster Teeth, was how little they knew about anything that we were doing. They knew nothing about us. And they don't know anything about your brand. They don't know anything about your audience. They don't know anything about your, really anything. Yeah. And it's just like, we'll figure it out. And then that's where the suits and ties come in, and they say, well, you have X amount of dollars, and here are your KPIs. And, like, if I never have to hear the phrase KPI again, Labs, do you know what a KPI is?
Isn't that something to do about kill streaks?
No, Blabs.
It's KPI, isn't it?
Deb, do you know what a KPI is?
I don't. I'm sorry.
Key performance indicator.
Yep.
Oh,
so,
yeah. I learned that like many moons ago. No.
So you need to get X number of views and generate X number of dollars, and this is how we're going to judge your success, with your KPIs. Yep. And as I know, everybody who works, like, generic corporate jobs watching us now is just vomiting in their mouth from the KPIs. It's ridiculous. Lord Spleech wants to know. He says, maybe the Escapists should burn down the house by bringing Movie Bob back. Just a thought. Did you deal with Movie Bob at all?
Yeah, I mean, Movie Bob, he's got a fiery personality on his videos and everything, but he's a very sweet guy in person and stuff like that. Like, I made sure that he got, like, the big picture back before he left and everything like that. So I'm like, him and I have a good relationship. And
Yeah, Des, go ahead.
He has like 18 internet controversies following him around.
Yeah, it was
He's
not easy being the editor in chief and having
Yeah.
Movie Bob around, but I still love the guy, and
Mhm.
he's a very nice person
Mhm.
outside of Twitter.
So
I actually very much agree with you. He's like, and he got a start on Screw Attack forever ago, and that's where we like first platformed him when he was just doing gaming stuff. And yeah, and then when he's off Twitter, he's actually a pretty nice dude.
Yeah, yep. I when I was working, I was like, please stay off Twitter for today. Just stop. I love you, man.
So-
Like just get off Twitter.
so here's the thing. Like I'm definitely an outsider in this space, right? Like I'm mostly a viewer, way more than I am somebody who has connections or works a real job. This is still very surreal to me, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know anything about the corporate stuff. I did know somebody who was part of Maker Studios when Disney bought them, and the story that they told sounds very similar to the story that you two just told.
It's the same story for all these companies. Like and the reason, like one of the reasons, like we knew exactly what to do when this happened is because I've studied what happened with Defector. I studied how the Kind of Funny guys left. I studied how Colin's Last Stand started. I studied MinMax. Like I modeled everything that we did on the Escapists while we were under a corporate company after those guys, because they're successful where all the corporate media sites are failing. It's like maybe so I spent my 5 years trying to get them to understand, like, there is no sustainable model in corporate media when you have shareholders to please, that you're going to get 10 million views on YouTube and it amounts to like $5,000, and it's you can't sustain that. It's impossible. You get one video that goes 10 million views and they're like, how do you do that again? I'm like, who the fuck knows?
Right.
If I knew, I would be the most successful video person on the planet.
Okay, so corporate media, obviously, we all agree. Everybody here agrees that corporate media is it probably won't exist at least as they're trying to exist in 5 years from now, right? This is something that people who are investing in this, they always think they know better, but at the end, it's always the same story. So how long does Kotaku have? How long does Polygon have? Like, I think Rooster Teeth is gone in a year.
I don't know if you saw it, Craig, but Kotaku just had a whole bunch more layoffs like 2 days ago.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
the only way these sites survive, and that's why I was trying to get ahead of the game with the Escapists being under a corporate model, is a fan-funded platform. And you can have that under a corporate model if they let you do it. But when you have to make, I don't know what the CEO's pay or my boss's pay or anything was, but I mean, like, when the team that's making the content is being treated as well as the guys that are just coming in with a strategy that makes no sense, and they don't even pay attention to the content you're making, that's where it fails.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you basically need the owner with the vision, in a sense, right? Because I've been following Yahtzee since before he joined the Escapist. And in my own research for this, I did look back into the Escapist history, and I know that you came along after Alex Macris sold the company, right? Yeah, and he had kind of a fiery personality too, but you could tell he was passionate about it. Like, it was a private owner. It wasn't a whole bunch of different owners who own a whole bunch of stock, and then they have like a board that then works in their interest. It was one guy who owned it. And for better or worse, at the very least, you knew that one guy, he had a consistent temperament, he had a vision, and he wanted to build a company in a certain way. Now, if you disagreed with that's one thing, but at least you could all be on the same page. But when you're dealing with a whole bunch of stockholders and a board, it gets very dicey.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of these companies, like, especially Enthusiast Gaming, you go look at their investor deck, and it's like, we have an audience of 300 million people across all these sites. And I'm like, no, you have an audience of 300 million clicks, because those are not dedicated audience members paying attention to anything you're doing besides what is on Google. That's not an audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can I tell you a quick story about Enthusiast? Because I go back with Enthusiast as well. Actually, probably when you were when you were probably working with them, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just, deja vu.
Were we on calls back in the day? Did we
might have been.
We may have been on a call back. It just clicked right now.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember going and hosting EGLX in Toronto.
Okay.
I was the host up there, and that was like I remember dealing with is Minash even still? And by the way, this everybody watching, this is so inside baseball. Like most people, we have 1,000 people watching right now. 1,000 people don't care about this, right? But I just need to know: is Minash even connected with the company anymore?
No, he got completely pushed out and sold.
He
off
got
his
pushed
shares.
out.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was
Yeah,
it. Like it was his company.
Yeah, no, he's off. He went and formed Glimmer. It's a mental health foundation that he's running, and then he just announced his leverage venture capital firm with Mare. You might remember Mare too.
Yeah, vaguely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was actually, man, that's so interesting. That's so interesting that like this like our worlds are colliding like right now. It didn't even dawn on me until right now. Which is great.
Only my site Only SP was the first site that Enthusiasts ever acquired.
Really?
Yeah, so I was around before Enthusiasts even really got going.
Wow, that's great.
There's back in Enthusiast game, there's only one person left from like our original team, Julie. She's a graphic designer there. She's the last person standing out of all the corporate suits, kicked out all the talent.
It is what it is, man. What a crazy world. So okay, so fast forward.
Hopefully you didn't have stock because my stock's worth nothing there.
No, you know what's funny? What's funny is I was actually talking about working together, and there was Nero who ran Destructoid.
Yep.
I remember he's like, man, you need to buy stock. You got to buy the stock. You got to buy the stock. Buy the stock. Buy the stock. And I was like, I don't know. I think at the time it was like 4 cents a share or something. It was like really low, whatever it was. It was like a penny stock. And I saw it like bounced up to like $4 or $5 at one point. And I was like,
it was at like $10 at one point. Yeah.
Like it was like a very specific window. It kind of like GameStop where it kind of like bumped up for a month or something. And then it bounced on down. And it was one of those where you're like, damn it. But then I looked at it like a couple days ago and I was like, I guess I didn't miss out. So
I learned my lesson about accepting vested shares for selling something to them, because that I didn't get anything for that because they sold us. So great.
Well, that's interesting. So fast forward now, and now you have vested shares in Second Wind.
I do.
Yes. So you are co-owner of this company. What does that look like? Like what is the structure of this company? How many co-owners are there?
So there was the whole full-time video team from the Escapists came over. So there are technically like 9 co-founders of this.
Oh wow. That's not going to be a mess later on.
It's like, well, I mean, we basically like Monday night after I got fired, the entire day I spent the computer like, here's what we need to cover our salaries. Yahtzee, Jack, Omar, and I all took significant pay cuts in our salaries. And like, here's what we need to start something up and just keep going and doing what we're doing. And like, we got to jump on this today because, well, we all quit. So like, let's stick together. Let's do this. And so like, we pulled the defector strategy basically where defector started getting fired, laid off, and they let everybody know on social media all together. They're getting let go. We're staying together. We're going to do exactly what you expect from us and what you wanted from us. So I really followed their plan to a key to basically make sure that we controlled the message and not gamers saying like, Escapist is fucked up and not profitable or whatever, whatever. So yeah, we basically threw out a bunch of ideas for names. Like Jack Packard half-assedly threw out Second Wind. I had some people are like noticing on the YouTube channel was created 3 days before I was fired. That's because I just went and grabbed an account called The Getaway as like, here's a brand name. If we need to jump somewhere, let's go here. Direct everybody here. And so we just like, we had Javastera to board and like got him on the branding right away. Like here I gave him a color palette and like just said, make something that like Escapist rising out of the ashes, whatever the fuck that looks like. Okay, he comes back. I'm like, that logo looks incredible. Let's fucking run it. And
whatever. It's great. I love it. We can change it later if we need to. Which is good.
And no, it just blew up from there. Like we like I said earlier, like we had all the structure at Escapist. The main thing we didn't have to come with us was the IPs, which we're still in negotiations for and all that. And so it was basically just like keep doing what we were doing, get our stuff right back on track, continue where we left off, and make it fun and fresh and new, and then go from there.
Well, hell, man, you guys got the Patreon set up. You got You're killing that over there. You got all sorts of good. You've done a few live streams, and you said your first video is going up tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yep. Yahtzee's brand new show, Fully Ramblematic, and I haven't checked the Patreon. Should be updating crazy numbers right about now because we launched at 11/18 last Tuesday. Before I came on the podcast, it was just about to hit 6,000. I don't know what it's at now.
6,000 supporters?
No, $6,000.
$6,000.
Yeah, I don't know what it's at now. I'm guessing it's probably over 10,000. If I went, oh yeah, I guess I can. I'm not hosting the podcast. I can go look.
You absolutely, you can do whatever you like, my man. That's great. Well, congratulations. I think it's always a great story to see people kind of split off from the corporate world and kind of go into business for themselves. And I think this is one of those things that you're going to see more and more. You know, I mentioned Rooster Teeth earlier. I think there's a ton of talented people over there that could easily split off, do their own thing, and honestly make way more money.
Yeah, well, I kind of hope like what we just did is an inspiration for people to like go get out of the corporate model if you're not being treated right and they're giving you all this stress. And like you would think like this would be the most stressful moment of my entire life because we started a business over a week and I got kicked off the Escapist. I had my brand that I loved, like our entire team loved working there, and have it ripped out from under us like that. But I've actually never felt like more energized and positive and like excited about the future than I am right now. And like I said before we came on the show, the public numbers on Patreon aren't accurate. We just finished the end credits for our videos and we already had 2,000 people in the credits at the $10 tier. So like we are doing way, 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 way better than I thought we would be.
Suck it, gamers. Let's go. Don't you just want to feel like Homer Simpson getting sucked down doing this on the way down? Like, you do. Come on.
I'll have my victory lap after we get our IP back in some way or form.
What if you don't?
Then we make new shit and we go.
So instead of it's really easy to mess with IPs. You can change that stuff super.
Well,
easy.
I mean, like the first episode of Fully Ramblematic came in Monday. We're gonna put up the premiere page right after I'm done with the stream, and I've watched it, and it is the freshest feeling thing I've seen from Yahtzee in years, and it is like you can tell he's passionate about it again, and it just I don't know, it's just got a nice feel to it. I did have to have him take out a crack pipe out of it though.
Oh,
have that in there.
Why? What? Wait, why'd you have to take a crack pipe out? What the hell's that about?
YouTube guidelines won't like that.
Fucking YouTube, man. Oh.
He came up with an even better idea. I'm not sure if YouTube's gonna like it, but I was like, it's not okay. I'll let you have that one.
Fucking hey, that's great, man. Congratulations to you guys. Congratulations to your success. I think it's spectacular to see, and obviously, the more people that separate from the corporate gaming entity, the better everything's going to be. And the sooner we can actually have crack pipes and videos on YouTube, the better everything will be too, which is great. Yeah. So, all right, let's move on to another story. Deb,
do we have to? I wanted to ask a bunch of questions.
Deb, by all means.
I didn't want to interrupt you. You were on a roll, man. I didn't want to interrupt. But I have what I do. If you don't mind.
Deb, fire away, man. Yeah.
Okay. So you're just I just want to. This is the first person that I've ever interacted with. You are the first one I've ever interacted with who's doing a worker co-op model, because I've read about the model a lot, but I've never met someone who's actually doing a worker co-op model. That's basically what you're doing, right?
Yeah, Jack Packard's handling a lot of like our business organization stuff, law. Turns out I've known that guy for 5 years. Didn't know he was like a business savvy guy, and he's all of a sudden like, oh yeah, like my wife and I run a couple of companies or businesses, and like I know all these lawyers and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm glad you can do that because I didn't want to do that. So yeah, we are basically keeping the same org structure that we had. Worker co-op often has like a board of directors that will help make decisions together. Everybody owns an equal share of the company. So that's all stuff we're still figuring out. If it's a worker co-op, then that's what it is. But it might be some type of hybrid of that for us, just because what we had worked, and we don't want to change that up too much.
Mm-hmm. And well, it's one of those things where because you're all friends, it probably goes down a lot smoother, right? where everything works together. So because I know like one of the big problems on paper with the worker co-op model is if you hire 100 people suddenly, now they all got to co-own with you, and it's like, well, I don't know these guys, but if you're all friends, it works, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess it's the same thing. Like if someone decided to quit, it's like, well, do you buy back their shares? Like there's a bunch of hiccups, but it's a model that seems to work if you're all friends. Yeah. So it smooths over, you know.
Yeah, and the big thing for us is like we are all just creatives. We're not in this to make $1 million. We're not in this to be ultra profitable. Like we just want to get our salaries back that we had, give people some raises that deserved it, that didn't get it back at Gamers REG, and then just bank the money and be sustainable and just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah. I think honestly that's what a lot of small businesses kind of want to do, is like it'd be nice if they blew up. But generally it's like, well, I want to hire all my friends and we all have a good life.
Yeah.
And you know, it's that sort of thing. That's how it is with me. That's probably how it was with you when you started, Craig. Probably something similar.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I think that's, you know, dealing with 9 people all at one time is and making those decisions is tough. I think you're certainly going to have, you know, roadblocks in that, but I think that's just how business goes sometimes, you know. And here's the reality of it, right? You have 9 people with you. In a year from now, 1 or 2 of them may not be there, and that's okay, you know. And in 5 years from now, 4 of them or 5 of them may not be here. Like, and what's going to happen, and I know this from experience, is when somebody leaves, because everybody is publicly known, there will be people who are going to make assumptions about you or Yahtzee or whoever, or the other 8 or 9 or whoever, however many owners there are, and they're going to say what, you know. You're going to see drama from that. You're horrible people. I liked you better than this. I like, you know. So just know it happens, and it's going to happen. And you know, like that's just the belly of the beast, unfortunately, when you're dealing with you know, public companies that people have relationships with, pseudo relationships with, you know.
Yeah, so. I might be naive, but I mean, like everybody that's working on this stuff is like excited and jazzed about it all the time, and they had been like, we didn't have any turnover for 5 years at the Escapist. Not a single person left.
I hope that's the case, man. I hope that you guys are 65 fucking years old and you're all like, that's it, we're done. When we just
playing Call of Duty 2020 40,
right.
Just
I remember when there was a Russian contributor on the Linus Tech Tips channel, and when he left, he just got another job. He moved on, right? But they couldn't talk about it publicly because of HR reasons. And all the fans who liked him thought it was this massive conspiracy and everyone's making stuff up. But it's like, people just move on sometimes, you know. It's just how it is.
Well, that's been the most like shocking thing for me about all of this, is like I didn't realize how many people like actually paid attention to what I was doing, because like, you know, you get a call from your mom after you're fired, and like the next day she's like, hey, do you know you're on the BBC? And I was like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Like, talk about that. Like, did you guys reach out to these people? Like, and do you feel like Yahtzee moving was a big move, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, he and Escapist have been one and the same for the better part of his entire career.
16 years. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, him moving on was obviously the big draw, right? People get fired all the time, but it's Yahtzee, and he has this large audience, right?
Yeah.
So that obviously played a big role in receiving coverage of it. What was it like with him? Because he wasn't going to be fired, right? Was he just like, yeah, I'm out the door with you guys, or like, well, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's obviously the biggest of the fish.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's
so
anybody can say.
Yeah, I think a lot of people realize like after this, like Yahtzee is part of the team now. Back when before I ran the Escapist was very sectioned off. You know, they might have had an office in North Carolina, but like a lot of them, just the creators of these shows and all that, just kind of sent them their shows, and they didn't really collaborate a lot and do a lot as a team. So like I said, the very first thing we did with Yahtzee was go to E3, and like he got to hang out with me and Omar and Matt Laughlin as we, you know, filmed E3 there, and like, you know, we were working day and night getting coverage going. He was making ZP on Windows Movie Maker. Like, we were all in an Airbnb together, and I think that was like the first time that like he really got to just be part of a team in that way. And he really softened up over the years. Like he was, you know, a little bit shy and antisocial when we came in and all that, and then, you know, we worked more and more with him. The Adventures Nice series that we did, the D&D series, he adores that. Like he just loves that, working on that show. And so him and I actually had like a very close working relationship because the corporate companies wanted to milk him dry, and I never let them. I stopped them at every turn. They wanted to sponsor the hell out of Zero Punctuation. I wouldn't let them do it. I'm like, you're going to have the audience revolt on us if we put an ad in front of ZP. And of course, you know, they did it anyway, and I got yelled at for it. So whatever. So when it came time to leave, and you know, we have other interviews I think going out today and stuff like that. It's just he didn't want to be alone again. He didn't want to be left holding up the ship. You know, again, he enjoyed working with us and me, and like I'm a producer on his game now, Starstruck Vagabond. So like he had my back and I had his back, and then it's you know, I think a lot of the audience now realizes that after like our introduction video, and it's kind of funny. He kind of gave me like a eulogy, even though I'm alive. But you know, a lot of the comments when I go through and read them is like, oh wow, like, you know, they really did have each other's back, and Yahtzee and I kind of, you know, bicker at each other on streams and all that. So a lot of people thought we maybe had a contentious relationship, but you know, it was just us, you know, being bros basically.
Right.
So see, here's the thing. Like I would have thought that you had to have known the story would have blown up, because like Yahtzee is a big e-celeb. Jack Packard on Red Letter Media, big e-celeb. Like when I remember when the Game Grumps first split up, John and Aaron, you know, that hit mainstream news too, right? Things that like this big do tend to break out of the containment, you know.
I knew like if we were successful in pulling off what Defector did, it would get picked up. I didn't realize it'd be picked up at this scale, and in Yahtzee's own words, like we kind of became overnight a little bit of a symbol of like standing up to the corporate greed of, you know, bleeding people dry for money for media. And I think that's really what the story ended up becoming, and like what a lot of the coverage was that like we walked out together, we stuck together as a team. We knew we had the talent and the value to stick together and make this thing work. Just the pace that it's working, like I straight up in our budget that I put for this to be successful, just to cover ourselves, like it would included all of our different revenue streams, and for Patreon for the entire year I thought we would do maybe 12,500 a month at best. And I think after today, tomorrow or so, like we're gonna be doing between like 50 and 70K a month.
Pretty awesome, man.
That's really good. Yeah.
Just out of sheer, I don't know, morbid curiosity, when you see this and you look at Social Blade and you look at
try
this
not to look at
game,
that.
and then you scroll down and you see that big old dip right there, 50,000 subscribers, and you're like, oh man, we're doing so. Oh no, they lost everybody because we left. Nick, does it make your heart swell with pride?
You know, I've tried not to think too much. Like we put a lot of love into the Escapist brand, and like I know it's just a brand name, and thankfully like the community has really listened to me when I said like the people still writing there have nothing to do with this. They're our friends. We support them. Like we want to see them continue to succeed if they can. But yeah, I mean, of course it feels good to know that like people have our back, right? Like and that like everything that I had worked for over 5 years, and getting people to recognize the talent and creators on the channel, and be a community of people that like actually wanted to be positive, wanted to escape to, you know, your favorite hobbies and all that, like actually stuck with us. And to like give you an idea, like the scale of this thing, our Escapist Discord by the time we left had maybe just under 5,000 people in it. The Second Wind Discord after 3 days had like almost 30,000. And I think we've hardly had to ban anybody. Like people are like on board with the vision, being positive, and like it's
nice.
Yeah, it's just been everything. Man. It's been everything we could have hoped for and more. You know, if this for coming out of a bad situation.
That is great to hear.
Yeah, the thing is like you probably, if you were just given more time, you probably could have hit their metrics, I think.
Yeah, no, we were like Cold Take and Stuff of Legends and Yahtzee Unscripted. Like we were boosting our views, and I had fought for like an entire year to get merch going, because people go gaga over Zero Punctuation merch, and they were begging us every day for Adventures and I plushies and merch and shirts and Cold Take merch and all this stuff. And I kept being told there's no value in that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So I finally get them to agree to it, and I sign a contract with Shark Robot, who is now partnered with us on Second Wind. And I'm fired a week later. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm trying to bring you money. So everything that we're doing right now, like, we already have sponsors on board. We've got the Patreon going. We've got merch going. We've got some other deals in the back end. This is all stuff that I was trying to do for them, and I just got stopped at every turn by corporate meddling.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I've been watching Yossi since before he joined The Escapist, right? So I remember that period of time, maybe 10 years ago or like 8 years ago or something, where everyone just went to the channel to see the new Zero Punctuation and then didn't watch anything else that was there, and nobody cared.
Oh,
And in
I
fact,
know it.
when a video hit your feed, people would just comment, "What? Like, I didn't sub to this channel. What is this? Oh, why are you posting this? This isn't what I subbed to." You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
And I mean, you mentioned that you were facing an uphill battle with getting your other shows off the ground, but I did check in like 6 months ago, and they were getting traction. You know, it wasn't the 100 view that it was 10 years ago. Like, they were growing. They probably would have grown into their own thing given enough traction. Like Craig, you mentioned that if it wasn't AVGN, everyone told you to fuck off. But I mean, Pro Jared still built a brand on your site. And I think the FFS TV guys, they were on your site for a while. Didn't they build a brand too? Like,
Oh yeah,
it still works. Yeah,
for sure. We provided we provided a platform for. I mean, I said this yesterday. I was on a show with Camelot, but like, if you were to play the 6 degrees of separation to pretty much any YouTube creator out there, we're like 1 or 2 degrees away from everybody. You know, like, we have a relationship with at some point with pretty much everybody. And I know that's a crazy statement, but the origin story of, you know, whether, you know, like, talk about Movie Bob got to start there. Like, it was small or big, it was all touched in some way, shape, or form by what we did back then. And you know, so providing that outlet, and I think, you know, Nick, one of the things that is a struggle is when you have something that is very popular, a show that's very popular, personality is very popular, getting that rub to other shows is it's like in wrestling. Like, you know, you have the baby face who's super over, get beat by the new heel, and the new heel gets more heat because he beats the baby face or whatever, right? And there, you know, it's the same mentality attached to it. So it's interesting to be able to get that rub from the stars. So
yeah, I mean, well, you were an enthusiast. I mean, like, their entire thing was, you need to find the next Yahtzee, and I was like, why?
Good luck.
Like, yeah, well, if somebody has Yahtzee's numbers, why would they come work for you when they can just go independent? Like, that doesn't exist anymore,
right?
And so, like, when Frost came along and popped in my inbox, and I heard his voice, and I didn't even need to see his editing or writing or anything. I just, like, that voice is going to bring people in, and boy, did it. And then it turns out, like, he is extremely smart, talented, and a fantastic writer. And now I did end up finding the next Yahtzee, and then I got fired.
That was with you, sucker. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, let's. We only got a few more minutes left.
sorry. I mean, I had more questions, but it's fine. I'm sorry about that.
Well, no, what you have? I mean, I'll tell you, Nick. How long do you have, Nick? Because that's the question.
I'm good. I got nothing else right now.
Yeah, just starting a company.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dev, fire away. What do you have for Nick?
Okay. I have one last question. It might be a question that you have to go no comment on.
Yep.
So I understand. How is it that they retained the Zero Punctuation IP? Because every time I've looked at, like, other creators who have joined channels, they've kept their IPs, right? Like Craig, you don't own James Rolfe's IPs. No one who worked at Channel Awesome like Spoonie owns his own IP still. You know, that the Walker brothers didn't keep it. How, like, what the hell happened there?
That has nothing to do with gamers. Yahtzee, when he joined the Escapists, like, he had just started out, and like, like, his words, like, he was a dumb kid. He sold his IP to the Escapists so that, you know, he could do his show and be funded for it. So he has really never owned the ZP IP. It's always been owned by either the Escapist or the Enthusiast Gaming, or Defy Media or Alloy Media, Gamers, whoever. So like, no comment about, like, what's going on with it right now. It's just, he was kind of ready to do something new. It's, you know, 16 years. You know.
Okay.
And so, but what I will say is, like, fully emblematic. Like, people will, if you love ZP, you're gonna love that even more. I think it feels so fresh and fun and new.
All you have to do is just change the yellow background to green. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, man, it's exciting. Let's go ahead and get to some of these super chats real quick. Appreciate y'all's support today. Jack came in with the 5. Says, "Hey, all side scrollers, beware of Dev, for he is a communist. Do not trust him." Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that's from the Archcast. The guys in the Archcast are significantly more right leaning than me. So the joke is that because I'm politically moderate, I'm a communist. That's the joke.
Naturally. And the joke from all those on the left is that you are extremely right wing bigot, right? That's that.
I've heard that a few times too. Yes,
of course.
Yeah, somebody that is in media and lives in Missouri, I get both sides of that stuff. So,
listen, and I'll say this, Nick, there are a lot of people like I left the gaming space entirely several years ago. I retired. I was like, I'm done with the gaming space. And I left, and I actually worked. I had an opportunity to go work for a firearms company, and I'm like, I've never been a big guns guy, but the idea was, well, we're going to teach people how to be safe with it. I was like, that's a great mission, right? Yeah. And then that company kind of went belly up, and the direction went. So I left, and I stepped back in, and I was like, step back into the gaming space. I was like, this place is fucking insane. Like the gaming space is fucking insane. And that's like the entire reason why side scrollers exist, because I know that there's way more people out there that are just like, that are looking around going like, what the fuck am I looking at? You know, like they have no idea what's happening online at any point.
That's why people ended up loving the escapist community. Because like I was probably the most active on Twitter out of my entire staff, which is a good thing, because that means like we didn't pay attention to Twitter. It didn't dictate what we wanted to do. We didn't get involved in any controversies over the last 5 years. Nothing. So it's like,
not that you know,
not that I know of. Yeah, I've seen Reddit posts about me in some places. So I'm like, that's weird. That's a weird conspiracy theory about me.
What happened? What did you do, or who did you murder?
Oh man, I don't even remember what it was now. It's just something like somebody had like my whole life pegged out, and I was like, huh? Like, I don't even know who the fuck you are.
You said peg. Dev knows about that.
God damn it. Okay, so the first time I saw somebody just make shit up about me on social media or on a forum, that was like a wild day. I was like, oh, I've actually hit that point now where someone's just going to invent my life for me. Yeah. It's like, it's very strange to see. Oh yeah, first time it happens. Craig, you mentioned before that you left and came back, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the Gout guy, Dave, my editor, he used to listen to the original version of this podcast religiously every day on the bus to school, and he still listens. He's probably listening right now. But
hi Dave.
Hi Dave. He said that you've definitely changed a lot since then. Like the direction of the show from the old days has changed quite a bit.
Yes. You hear that? You've changed, right? But if you were to go back and look at what Side Scrollers was, and Nick, for reference, Side Scrollers was actually the first show that was on Screw Attack in 2006. Okay. And it ran for 445 episodes over the course of better part of 10 years, right? And it was a weekly show. And if you were to go back and look at what Side Scrollers was then versus what Side Scrollers is now, you see how people go, oh, you've changed. No, I haven't. I'm literally the exact same person. We're doing the exact same things now that we did back then. We point and laugh at stupidity. That's what we do. And we did that. We did that a decade ago. We're doing it now. We did that 15 years ago. I'm still doing it now. If something is dumb, I will point and I will laugh at it. The problem is that there's just way more stupid stuff in the world than there was then, or at least we know more about it now because social media amplifies it.
Oh yeah.
So people say, "Oh, you changed." No, I haven't. I mean, you might have changed because you've grown up a little bit. I was already a grown-ass man when I started this show. You were probably a kid or a teenager when you started watching. So maybe you changed.
Yep. That's for sure.
Yeah, just to make you all feel better. I would have been in 6th grade when you started this show.
Right. Exactly. And I was 25 right out of college, and but this is the second iteration, right? So, and back then it was a weekly show. Today, and it was a pre-recorded show like podcasts generally are. And we were so early out of the gate from the podcast world that people didn't even know what podcasts were when we were doing them. And now we're doing this is the daily show, every single day, Monday through Friday. So naturally, if we're doing this, if we took the same format that we did from Side Scrollers in 2007 and we're doing that in 2023, like we're doing something wrong. We're doing something very wrong.
Are you sure? Because Yahtzee might have something to say about that.
Well,
And that's true. That's true.
People come for Yahtzee, man. They love
it.
well, here's the thing, though, right? Like, also, from what I did watch a fair amount of Screw Attack content back in the day, and I mean, it wasn't overtly political, but there was the occasional like George Bush joke thrown in there or Obama joke thrown in there, right? Because it was just kind of all in good fun, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we just
just threw in whatever, right? Because it was funny. But nowadays, if you make a political joke, you have 18 different fucking hashtags and everyone descending down your throat on Twitter, and it's like, gee, things have definitely changed a lot.
For sure. And like, you know, the most fascinating thing about that is you know, going back to that team, like we never talked politics ever at Screw Attack. I didn't know anybody's political leanings. I still don't talk politics. I think it's not something that I'm really interested in. And I think that if you say, you know, if you identify as a Republican, or you say I'm a Democrat, or this is the only way that I'm going to think, I'm going to lump myself into this group of people, you're probably fucking boring, right? You're probably really boring. So like, how about you think for yourself and not just go along with the current thing? So, and that's goes back to like common sense, man. Like, just don't. The most fascinating thing about like what Nick is doing right now is that's fucking punk rock. That's punk rock, right? Like what we're doing here is punk rock. This is the alternative to the bullshit. This is the alternative to Rooster Teeth. And all the people who are like, oh, it's punk, who thought they were punk rock, are the biggest fucking corporate whores ever, right? and that's what I love about what we're doing here, is that we are the alternative. What I've done my entire career has been the alternative to the bullshit at IGN and the bullshit at Rooster Teeth or whatever. And I know this because I've tasted the shit at Rooster Teeth and at IGN and the corporate media, just like Nick has, because Nick's he's been surrounded by it, and now he knows what not to do. And that's why I know you guys are going to be wildly successful.
I've learned 20 times over of what not to do. It was kind of the funniest thing was like I predicted 3 separate times when my managers would be fired, and I was right all 3 times. And then on the phone with my mom about 3 months ago, I said, "Hey, Mom, like if I ever tell you that I'm going to get fired, I'm getting fired." And so, you know, I was home for Halloween. I said, I'm getting fired. Like, they're like, no. I was like, I told you, when I say it, I'm gone.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have the same type of experience that you two guys have, but I've worked like a lot of grungy blue collar jobs over the course. You know, there's been some construction stuff, some working for the city stuff, you know, doing the jobs that you don't like to watch people do, like pick up your garbage or maintain the parks or whatever, you know, all the behind the scenes jobs that make society look nice. I did a bunch of those over the years. Right. And, man, the minute I could start doing YouTube full time, it was heaven. It was like, how could anybody possibly take this job for granted and screw it up and corporatize it? You know what I mean? It's like you're ruining one of the best possible things about living in the modern era.
When I think about now that I've gone through 2 corporate companies that basically ended the same way, aside from being fired at one and, you know, sold by another one, I don't even know why they're in it. It's like, it's a frustrating, annoying, fickle business that nobody wants to be at the top. They're just angry all the time that you're not hitting them 100 million views. Like, get out. You don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like an individual or like a creative team in charge of a channel, they're just happy to see the steady growth. They're happy to like make the product and like interact with their fans, and they don't need to necessarily, like, there's probably some metric hitting you have to do as a necessity of the job, but they're not gonna pull their hair out, you know. At least I don't think so anyway. Well, I mean, maybe you are right now because of your current situation, but you know what I mean, though, right? Like, people aren't like, there's not like a corporation that's pressuring you to do a certain thing. It's like you can actually take it at your own pace.
Yeah, I mean, at least for us, like, I always ran the Escapist more like a business than a media thing. Like, I wanted to make sure that we pulled in revenue from all these different sources so that we never relied on just ad revenue, because that is dumb.
Well, I would love to hear Blab's thoughts on this, as Blabs hasn't said a word, which is fine. But and we also have a.
I was taking out those bots, bro.
No, I'm just saying. I saw
there were a lot of them in there. Yeah.
Yeah. President-elect Pressure 609 says, "I ain't gonna like until Blab says something." So we need you to say something.
Words.
There you go. Good job, Blabs.
There you go.
Well, it's
job.
very interesting from an outsider's perspective. I will say that, since I know nothing about the corporate life. So,
I have one last question that I've written down after listening to you guys talk a bit. Have you heard from anybody who's still at the Escapist? Like what kind of fire they're currently dealing with?
No comment on that. All
Okay,
I'll
understand.
say is there hasn't been a statement made yet, and that should tell you all you need to know. Or publicly available, you can go look at the comment sections on any Escapist video.
Yeah,
and
I took a look. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's not good. Not good.
Not
All right.
good. Not good.
I would not want to be in that position dealing with that right now. Is what I would say. I like the
Mm.
position I'm in right now.
Suckers. All right, let's go. Let's go and get some of these super chats real quick and let you know that John Kanji came in as a brand new Prime member over on Twitch. Thank you so much, and then gifted a membership to J Rome, my boy, over on Twitch. Thank you very much, John. Always a pleasure. Lord Spleech came in as a with the membership earlier. Sparta Chris says, Craig, you said a couple months ago that you've had hot tub streams. You'd have hot tub streams if people sub to your channel. Are you lying about that now, like your badly edited UFO video?
Oh, no.
Swin.
No, I will gladly get in a hot tub one day, but I'm going to hold off that goal
You're such an
until
e-thought.
soon. Yeah, I will straight up whore myself out.
What?
Can't wait to do it.
Yeah, you shit on women doing that.
Listen, I don't have the assets that women do, right? And trust me, this dad bod is not something that is to be desired. I promise you that.
Everyone heard that. He says dad butt.
I said dad bod, easy.
You said dad butt before you said dad bod because I said the word assets.
We were talking in our stream the other day about the streamers that make a lot of money sleeping.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's weird.
Oh my god.
But see, it's not the streamer that's weird for sleeping. It's the people watching it that are weird.
Right? Why would you
Why-
want to watch someone sleep?
Yeah.
So I actually did a sleep stream 5 years ago. And
Of course you did.
no, follow me on this. And what we did was we had incentives for the audience to keep you up. So
God.
So people would donate, and then it would be like you'd hear a baby crying or a loud yell or something, and we had these speakers set up to where like I'd be falling asleep, and it was like, and it was, oh, you just like pop up, and it was the most anxiety. It was like the worst few hours ever. It was the most anxiety.
That's fun. That's fun though.
Right.
The other people are just watching somebody like literally sleep and do nothing.
Exactly, and that was the whole idea, was that it was like a game for sure.
I don't know if it's a game. That sounds like torture.
It was, yes. It was a game for the audience for sure.
Yeah.
The worthy one says, "Hey, Craig, as a fellow old school wrestling fan, I got to know who's your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. Do you guys are you guys into wrestling, Dev, Nick?"
Once I realized WWE was fake as a kid, I couldn't do it. I know.
Yeah, same. I watched as a kid, and then as soon as I realized I was out.
And then I started watching UFC, and then I saw Anderson Silva break his leg, and then I was out of that too.
What is this, wiggling like a gummy worm at the end of his leg?
we were at a bar watching, like my dad, my buddy, and I were at a bar watching it. And this bar full of dudes, and he did a leg kick, and his leg snapped and wrapped around. And here's the thing, though, those fuckers at ESPN or whoever was airing it, not only do they show it once, they're like, let's zoom in and analyze just how bad his leg broke. And so the entire bar, you just hear men screaming like women, and they keep showing it, and you just keep hearing stop. People throwing up, like, oh man.
Oh.
It's like the Harry Potter like floppy limb from one of the movies.
It's
Yeah.
exactly that.
The worthy one, to answer your question, my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers would probably be Stone Cold, Rock, Hogan, and probably, this is gonna piss people off, but probably Cena. Probably Cena.
Can you imitate him?
Who? John Cena?
Cena, yeah.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you said he had a dad bod. What do you mean?
No,
Yeah.
like, you know, the whole
What the hell,
it's
Blabs?
John Cena.
All you got to do is burst through a piece of paper.
Mercenary says my Mount Rushmore is Andre, probably Andre the Giant, Warrior, Hogan, and Macho Man. Oh yeah.
What's the guy's name that comes out of the coffin?
That's it. You don't know the Undertaker?
I couldn't
yeah.
remember. I knew him. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah.
That is my favorite like GIF ever. Is him just popping out of that thing.
Throw Cena out, put the Undertaker in. I'm sorry. There's too many. I wasn't looking at a list. I got to look at a list. I don't know. Yes, you're probably Undertaker. Throw Cena out. Cena's dead to me. The Rand Man says, "Rest in peace, standing Craig." By the way, I got a standing desk. I used it for one day.
That's
and
what I did
my
too.
feet hurt. So
Standing my standing desk is in my garage waiting to be sold.
so yeah, that's a
I've
poor
actually
investment.
been I've been considering getting one because I've had just a fold-out table that I've been using for about 12 years now. It's finally just collapsing and starting to die. And I was like, you know what? Standing desk with like a nice like soft pad for your feet, it might be okay.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
the problem with standing desks is you have to get cords that are long enough when it stands up, and I learned that the hard way.
Oh, because it pulls them all out when
Yep.
you turn it on. Yeah. Oh, I've
Yep.
seen YouTube videos of like monitors falling over and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Dude came in and says sometimes when a bunch of suits just tell a bunch of creatives to work together, it does work out. Look at Slipknot. Well, thank you, dude. That's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
And Kratos El Gredo says, having one person with the vision and direction in between the funding source and the team making the product is critical. Nick knows what's up. There you go, Kratos. Appreciate that. And I am not Uncle Wolf came back with that resub over on Twitch for 27 months. Thank you so much. I am not Uncle Wolf. Pleasure to have you in. Okay. Look, man, that was long. Oh, shit. Kratos El Gretos has come in with a $100 Rumble rant. Says, I want to celebrate Nick's and Blab's big balls moment with the song. Blabs, so just so you guys know, when somebody donates $100, Blabs has to sing a song in a very stereotypical accent that will probably offend somebody on Twitter. And it says the only appropriate song is one of Mazza, who's a friend of the show, Greatest Hits, presenting the chorus of AC/DC's Big Balls, sung by Blabs in a Blabs accent. What is a Blabs accent?
I don't know. Is that just my accent? But first of all, the thing was, Kratos asked Mazza to sing the song, and he was like, AC units can't sing because he's Australian. And I'm like, AC/DC, need to know what AC/DC was.
Oh, he didn't know what AC/DC was? He thought AC/DC was a...
Air cons can't sing con. And I'm like, ugh.
Okay,
anyway.
So can you sing? Do you have the song pulled up, Blabs? Are you ready to go?
I mean, I'll sing the chorus bit, but I don't know what Blab's accent that is. So
Well, just sing it as Blabs. Just sing it as yourself.
I've got big balls.
Oh, okay, are we ready to go? Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Blabs.
Hello. I've got big balls.
No, sing it, Blabs.
I don't know how this song is, though. I don't know this one.
I've got big balls. That's how it goes.
Good for you. I've got big balls. I've got big balls. They're such big balls, and they're dirty big balls. Ew. And he's got big balls, and she's got big balls, but we've got the biggest balls of them all. There you go.
But we've got the biggest balls of them all.
And that's going to live on the internet forever. You're welcome.
Kratos, look at it right there. Let's get you on that wall, Big Daddy. Let's go. Let's put you over here. Right there next to Shams, right next to the skateboard.
Is that like your $100 wall?
Yes. Yeah, that's the big old wall of support, the periodic table of support back there, which is great. Which, Nick, feel free to steal that. Dev, you can steal that as well. Which is
are those all sticky notes?
They are, yeah. Look at all my stickies I got.
How many times do those fall off and you got to go put them back up?
You know, the only one that I actually had to redo was, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. CEO, if you're watching, it's this motherfucker right here. That one fell off like 3 times, so I had to redo it. So
asshole.
What a dick. It's crazy. Look, guys, I appreciate you guys popping in. What a laid back, fun show today with some great moments on it. We're definitely going to put together a clip of the story of Second Wind here and put that on the channel as well. So everybody can go and support you guys, which is great. And I hopefully we have an opportunity to work together moving forward for sure. So
turns out we worked together before. So
I know. Camelot says, "Wait, why are you sitting?" Listen, Camelot, my legs hurt. My feet hurt from standing yesterday. I'm going to stand back up for the gaming stream, which will happen a little bit later on the Side Scrollers Plays channel. Join us over there. Greatly appreciate that. Dude, let's go wrap this up with Trevor coming in with a member for 25 months. Says, is it fair to assume that Destin is likely not making any future appearances? I don't know. Destin can gladly make an appearance anytime. I'd love to have Destin on the show. Destin, who works at IGN, he used to work for me over at Screw Attack. I would love for Destin to come back on the show anytime. He is an open invite. Yellow Flash says, how much for Blabs to sing the first part of More Human Than Human? Oh, no. That's, are you talking about all the moans and stuff, Yellow Flash? You're a sick, dirty man.
You dirty dog.
You dirty dog. Ridiculous. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Once again, I encourage everybody to go find Nick over at over on. You want them YouTube or Patreon? Where would you like us to send everybody?
YouTube. We're trying to cross that 200,000 mark before we release our first video.
Bam! Look at that. Hey, we're trying to cross that 60,000 mark by the end of the year. So we're gonna. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
No, I've been there. Like here's the fun part about the Escapist subscriber count was like we cycled through audiences, so we were like stuck at like 1.22 forever. And then I finally get that number fucking going up to 1.26, and now it's back to 1.1.
What a bunch of idiots.
I'm so mad about that.
So dumb. And make sure you guys go and subscribe and check out Short Fat Otaku as well with 144,000.
I gotta change that name at some point. It's a holdover from 2009, and I was doing anime. I gotta change it to something.
All right, excellent stuff. Well, when you do decide to change it, make sure you let your audience know ahead of time.
Yep.
For sure.
You can be the sister channel, the Second Wind, Breaking Wind.
Oh,
man, waiting for that one. Waiting for that joke right there. That's great.
It's gonna happen a lot.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Nick, thank you very much. Dev, appreciate you having coming on, guys. Blab's way to speak today and speak strong like wood, strong like
bull.
Strong like bull. Sorry, strong like wood.
Just so you know, there since as you sang the song, you like big balls. There is a testicle festival out in Nebraska that you could go to.
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, my dad told me about that one. It's a balls testicle festival.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Sounds
Maybe
like
put 'em
something
in a
we need to
nice little
sponsor.
jar and be like, look at these, I got a jar of balls.
Yeah,
We need. Sounds like we need to sponsor that shit.
is it like the Fear Factor episode where they ate them? Is that what they do?
yeah, no,
Sponsored by
it's like
testicles.
yeah, it's all about literal test. You could look it up on Google. Testicle. Well, be careful about that. But testicle festival in Nebraska.
All right, guys, hit the subscribe button if you're new. If you stuck around with us this long, come join us Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time for the best, most common sense video game show on the fucking internet right here every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Hit the thumbs up button on your way up. Appreciate you guys popping in. Go subscribe to Nick's channel, obviously Dev's channel, and go support Blabs over on Kick as she looks at e-thoughts on a night-to-night basis, which is very weird. So very good stuff.
I haven't done that in a month. Thank you very much.
Whatever, you're itching. You can't wait to get going on that
You
again.
want to come on once?
Absolutely not. With that said, you guys have a great day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.